What's up, guys?
What's up, everybody?
So I was wanting to do this video for a long time. We have moved into the house. We started building our new house in October of 2020. That's when we poured the foundation. The plan started in June. We actually bought this property in June, and in June we moved this RV into this barn. So that was 13 months ago. We've been living in the RV while we're building the house for 13 months.
Yes.
So I wanted to do this video for you guys and for fans of this channel, for subscribers of this channel, and for the casual YouTuber, passerby that's thinking about living in an RV. Can you do it? Can you do it with a family? Can you do it with kids? Can you do it through all 4 seasons? Can you do it in Texas? And we're gonna answer that for you because we have a lot of research.
When the little things mean everything, that's when you got everything you need. If you're anything like me.
We're just gonna shoot through this video.
Yeah.
We have a couple of notes, but we're mainly just gonna go off the top of our head.
Yep.
And walk the fans through it. That you've been watching us. You know, we've been vlogging with this RV for the past year. And then for anyone that's just casually looking, we're gonna give you some stuff to go by.
Yeah.
Maybe you're debating it. Maybe you're thinking about it. Everyone told us not to do this.
They said we were crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone said absolutely not. You're crazy. Lease a house. Go rent a house. Go rent a condo like a normal human. Get a storage unit. Put everything in the storage unit. Go live in the normal house. You know.
I don't think he thought that I would say yes when he brought it up over a year ago.
I was for it all along. Like when I bought this property, it has 2 barns on it. We'll talk about that in a minute and why that was the key to this whole deal. But I just thought, man, this would be perfect. We're gonna build a house. What is it? 100 yards up the hill, and we're gonna live with the dogs that are gonna be in this video with us. 3 dogs and a cat and 2 goats and 15 chickens. And we'll just stay on the property with the animals instead of going back and forth and checking on the chickens, checking on the goats. So in my mind, I thought, we'll just move an RV, and if I can convince Amber of this, it'd be great. And my second thought was, let me call some dealerships, some RV dealerships, and see if anyone wants to let us borrow their RV, and in exchange for, we'll be vlogging here for a year. Everything you see from me and from Amber for the next year will be your RV. So.
And we found someone.
She said yes first.
Yes.
And then I started making the calls. Actually, my brother Parker, we kind of got together, and Parker started making the calls. And he found the really good folks at Explore USA. And so Explore USA, they have several dealerships around the country, and they're just an awesome. Luna,
Sorry, our dog. You know, you guys watch us. Our dogs are all over our feet right now.
Baby, you can't hit the tripod while we're doing
You
this.
have to
Okay.
at least pop up and say hello.
Okay. So we found the awesome folks at Explore USA. They have many dealerships. They're an awesome run organization, and they said yes.
Yes.
They have a Solitude.
Thank the Lord.
This is a Solitude. It is a bedroom in the front, bunks in the back.
Yes. Fold out couch in the back.
Fold out couch in the back.
2 recliners.
2 recliners in the living room area. 2 bathrooms. The front's a shower. The back is just a toilet and a sink.
Which we use none of.
So, yeah. So Explore USA was gracious enough to say, yes, let's do it. This is a great business exchange.
They were great.
And so by the way, regarding them too, they're also gonna come pick it up here in a few days.
Yeah.
So we're going to do another video of saying goodbye to this thing. And it's gonna be probably emotional.
Watching it leave.
Because it's gonna, the house that we've lived in and been through so much together.
So closely.
So closely is gonna literally roll away before our eyes, and we'll see it turn down the county road. So that's going to be another video and something. But let's get started on this.
Yeah.
The first thing I wrote down was 4 seasons.
Yeah. And we're already starting on the next year of like the next 2 seasons. But we went through every season in this RV.
It was in the state of Texas. We couldn't have picked a worse 4 seasons to live in an RV in a barn.
It's the craziest year.
We had a really, really hot summer in 2020, and then we had just an unprecedented winter. A lot of you that aren't from Texas probably saw it on the news, and the ones that are from Texas lived it, but we have what we call now ice apocalypse. Outside, it got sub-zero, which is unheard of for Texas. To put it in perspective, when people in like Minnesota, I'm riding in an Uber in Minnesota or Wisconsin, and they're like asking about how crazy we were for not being able to put up with cold, I said, let me put it in perspective. Birds were dropping dead out of the sky.
Yeah.
There was dead birds dropping dead out of the sky. Oak trees that were 100 years old were dying. That's how unadapted this land was, and here we are in an RV.
Yes. We did it, and the RV kept up. We were very blessed to have the RV because when everyone was losing power, we had battery power for the lights.
Yeah.
So we never lost our power of our lighting. And then every time the power would come back on, we would be able to plug in our space heaters. It runs on propane though. So we could have used the propane the whole time, but we were scared of running out. So we kind of just used it sparingly for cooking.
Yeah.
But she did us good. She did us good in this barn.
So it runs on 60 pounds of propane, two different 30-pound cylinders. I refilled that during the course of the year after heavy cooking, heater use. How many times?
Have we only-
4 times, maybe?
I don't know.
Maybe 3 times?
You took it, I'm not sure.
I took it in to get it refilled probably 3 times.
Okay.
Or at least top it off. And so during the ice storm, when everyone was out of propane, I was worried about how much propane would be left. So I tried to hold off on using the propane heater as much as possible so that we could save it for cooking, because the cooking component was our lifeline.
Yeah.
We were cooking as much deer meat as I had in the freezer. Keeping the deer meat cold was not a problem, obviously, but we cooked a lot. So sleeping through the cold inside this barn.
That's what I was gonna say. We're lucky we had the barn.
Yeah, was a big deal. It stopped the snow. It didn't stop the cold. It got to like 10 degrees inside this barn, and so that's better than 0. But I could see snow and ice pushing in through the garage doors of the barn, which was insane. So the RV, awesome.
Yeah.
We did better than anyone in a house, except for the few people that had dry firewood and a wood-burning fireplace, which is rare that anyone had dry firewood during that storm. But we crushed it in this RV. So, A+ when it comes to that.
Let's talk about sleeping.
Yeah, well, okay, before sleeping,
Okay.
we got to talk about the other worst season.
Oh yeah, I guess that's
Last
true.
August.
Yeah.
In this barn, it got consistently every day up to 100 or plus. And I'm looking because we have a thermometer that I brought in here. So it got up over 100 in here. And the RV would get up to about 82?
82.
And that's with the door open and closing.
Yeah.
But once we had the door closed and everyone was in bed and we had the ACs cranked.
Yeah, it maintained the cool. It kept us cool.
Yeah,
we never had to sleep in 80-degree weather at all.
Yeah, give another thumbs up to the summertime in the RV.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about sleeping.
And we ran it nonstop.
Yeah.
The AC. So
Yeah,
talk about sleep.
we ran them hard.
This is probably some of the best sleep that I've gotten.
Yeah.
And I'm not just saying that.
Yeah.
We did add an extra mattress to our bed.
There's a queen size bed.
It was a queen size bed. We added like a little pillow top, maybe 5-6 inches. I don't know.
Yeah.
We kept the AC running. It was so dark in here. It was so dark in the RV. Plus inside the barn, it added to the darkness. And we were just cozy and cuddled up. The kids slept great. Luna.
Would you stop hitting my tripod, baby? Yeah. The first night we slept in there, I was like, oh, this is great. It's so dark. It's so dark in there. It was very, very, very comfortable.
Yeah.
And cold. And I love the sound of those ACs. It's like sleeping on the tour bus in a lot of ways. It's the sound of the AC.
Yeah, we like noise when we sleep, so.
Okay, so speaking of dogs, they're running everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The RV was great because the dogs were not allowed in it.
Yeah.
So the steps right back here, they never walked in there one time. It was nice because they felt still at home in the barn, but they didn't go in there. So we had that.
just for people that are going to get mad and say we should have let them in, we did, in the cold, we had space heaters blowing on their dog beds, so they were warm. And then in the heat, we had air conditioning blowing on their dog beds, so they were fine.
Fans, not air
Fans,
conditioning.
I'm sorry, fans. But we had the cooling fan that was like cold.
Yeah.
Cold air. Anyway, so we didn't like neglect our dogs.
So let's talk about the bathroom situation.
Okay.
This is where we won big time. This might have been the greatest thing with us staying in the RV, is that in this barn there's a bathroom in this corner. It was already here when we bought this place. So there's a bathroom. It's like a moderate truck stop bathroom.
Yeah.
As far as the amenities, it's just
gross.
like a construction style sink,
One
that you
shower,
get at Home
one
Depot.
toilet, one plastic sink.
Yeah, a plastic sink. But that allowed us to use the bathrooms in the RV as closets. So there is a pretty nice closet in the front bedroom of this RV, but it's made for people that are camping in Montana for 2 weeks. Not for living for a year with all seasons and every bit of clothing that you own.
So I took that closet.
So she took that, and then I took the shower, and I put 2 rods inside the shower and hung my clothes in there. And that worked out awesome. And then the kids used the back bathroom back here and did the same thing.
So we never had to mess with plumbing and dumping and smells and any of that stuff.
The only thing we did do is I kept handy some tablets for the sewer system, because this was a used RV, and so there was a little bit of water in the tanks. So I had to drop some tablets in there just to keep that bacteria from building up when it got to be 100 inside this barn. And we only noticed the bacteria would build up if it was 100 plus in the barn. So like right now, it's 80 in here.
Yeah, it's a cool day today.
And it's cool for Texas right now. I don't have to put any tablets in. Maybe the hardest thing was cooking.
The hardest thing was cooking, for sure. Now, if you're planning on living in an RV for a year and using all of the plumbing and the water and stuff, it's amazing. It's going to work perfect for you. But we chose to forego that. So it was really hard for me to cook not having a sink with water. And you guys have heard me talk about this like a million times on the Smiths. I had to leave and go to the bathroom in the barn every time I was cooking. If I messed with chicken, I had to go wash my hands. If I needed pasta water, I had to go to the bathroom. So that was the hardest thing for me.
Yeah.
But can you do it? Yeah, you can do it. I did it for a year. I remember Granger saying when we first moved in, he was like, let's try it for a month. If we can do it, then we'll do it. And we did it for a year.
We did, and the counter space was an issue too, and pantry.
Yeah, well, we made it work.
So yeah, we made it work. It's made, once again, this is made for camping, really.
Going for like 2 days to a week at a time.
Yeah, so the pantry is that wide and that tall. Our pantry was always just like, just cluttered, because we have kids, all the kids' snacks and foods. And then the counter space, which I have to keep saying, if you're camping, it's perfect, it's amazing. But if you're living and you're trying to do Thanksgiving dinner, every holiday we spent here, so you're trying to, like I cooked a brisket one time, and the pan of brisket takes up half of the counter space. So just going through the everyday or every holiday, every season cooking for a family, the counter space gets a little small.
Yeah, it does.
We had to install a 50 amp breaker in here, which is normal for an RV of this size. This is a pretty big RV. So they're either 30 or 50. The smaller ones are 30. This one's 50.
Sorry, Remy's breathing.
So
real hard.
we installed a 50 amp breaker, no problem, and the power was perfect the entire time we lived here.
Yeah.
I don't think, did we ever trip a breaker?
No, only maybe in the heat of the summer whenever we had like 4 fans going with AC. I was working, had all my stuff. If we had every single thing going, it might have tripped like once or twice.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It has, this Solitude has some awesome ventilation for the kitchen. So when you're cooking, you could turn on the fan, and because it gets hot in there in the summer if you're cooking with propane and you're on the stove, it starts heating up in there. So it has some fans, some vents you can kick on.
Yeah.
That pulls out that all that hot air. So that works out really well too. But yeah, the power was great. We never came close besides a couple times to tripping the breaker, and we lived here full time.
We all sat down and had dinner at the table in there every night.
Yeah.
Close together. We would all watch movies together in the recliners.
Yeah. It has 2 recliners. They have the little electric buttons that lean back, and it has massage on it.
Yeah, massage and heat.
Heat.
And lights.
Lights and a little charger for your phone.
Yeah. That's where the kids spent a lot of their time.
So yeah, it was great. Family of, there was 4 of us, and that seemed to work good. There's 2 recliners and then plus the kitchen table, so we were always able to sit around with a little TV, and it's built in.
And when we had friends over, the back bunks, like I said, there's a fold-out queen, and then there's a bunk on the bottom, a bunk on the top, and then a large bunk on the other side. So we had plenty of space to sleep family for anytime that they came over for holidays and stuff.
Yeah. So we had, my mom stayed here many times. My brother stayed here many times.
My parents.
Yeah, both of her parents stayed here.
Yeah.
Several times we had guests. We had guests come and stay in the barn with the family of 4, and everyone was comfortable.
Yeah.
So
it was great.
Yeah.
That was my only complaint, and that has nothing to do with the RV. It was the water in the kitchen when I was cooking. That was our decision. So I honestly have no complaints about our time in the RV. It was perfect for what we needed for this year. We're so grateful for them for allowing us to use it for this past year. It's been awesome. The kids loved it. London said it was her favorite house ever.
And she meant that too. So I would say this: we just built this we just built this brand new house, and we designed it, from scratch, and we built it exactly to our what we needed in our family, or what we wanted. And we're gonna miss this RV because of the closeness that it brought us. And we made our house, we designed it so that it would keep us close. And like we put the master here and the 2 kids' rooms in the living room, so that we always have to intersect in the living room. A lot of the idea we had from the RV, because this RV is, if you're thinking about doing it, having the patience to go through it is something that's tremendous to learn. Having that closeness of the family is incredible. Going through all the seasons, like if it's raining, we know it. If it's windy outside, we know it. If it's hot, we know it. If it's beautiful, we open up all the doors, we know it. There's been several times we opened up all the windows here and just kept, you like them dogs, opened up all the windows and just kept the screens open and just enjoyed everything. So yeah, living with these dogs, this is definitely This is definitely the best place we've ever lived with the dogs. They loved it. I don't know if I loved it. They were just all up in our business the whole time, because we opened the door of the RV and there they are.
Sorry.
Stop. Everybody stop.
So there's also a bunch of little extra spaces that we haven't talked about. There's little cubbies underneath that the kids would move around and put stuff in and play hide and seek. And
there's one right there. Right there,
and they built they put all their games in there and pillows, and that would be their little hideout. Then over on this side, I don't know if you can see it, but it was Granger's little shake station bar area. So there's a space. It even has a grill in it, so you could grill out. You could have drinks in the fridge. I mean, that's where he kind of kept all his workout stuff and his shake stuff.
Yeah.
And then it also had a front compartment where the kids around the corner would play in there and hide out in there. So there's so many spaces for kids. I
would just say, if you guys are contemplating living in an RV for a year, building a house, or maybe you're just wanting to forego a mortgage a little bit and just take a break from the bills. Maybe you're well off and you want to just tour the country for a year with your family and not work.
Yeah.
Lucky you. But guys, I'm highly recommending it.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you have patience, if you're willing to overcome the luxuries of life and just get back down to the basics a little bit, get close with your family. I'm telling you, I'm so grateful for this house now for so many reasons because of the RV. I'm grateful for carpet under my feet and air conditioning, kitchen sink, taking a bath. We haven't taken a bath in a year. So just getting in a bathtub is pretty awesome now in the house, but all that because we learned it from living in an RV for a year. So if you're thinking about it, and guys, if you can convince your wife, I'd highly recommend it.
We were content. We had 3/4 of our stuff in the barn, and we realized we don't even need it all.
Yeah.
We don't even need it all. We lived on small little area of our closet. We just condensed everything, and like you said, just got back to the basics. And that's all we needed. Kids had little buckets of toys. They didn't need a whole room. So, and we did it, and we loved it, and we realized we don't need all that extra stuff.
Yeah.
But
if you're new to this channel, then you could go back to June of 2020, and everything. So on YouTube, it'll say 1 year. 1 year. So everything between now and 1 year ago, we were living here with this RV, so you can just kind of scan through some of the videos if you're new to this channel and see, us going through Halloween and Thanksgiving and
Christmas.
Easter and Christmas, and everything, and just kind of take the adventure again with us. But that's all I would recommend it.
Yeah, I need to call Explore USA.
Yeah, the next video you'll see with this RV in it is it driving away. We're also gonna, for the subscribers, we're also gonna do a full house tour.
Yes.
I don't know if it's next episode, but we just want to get
really
everything.
close.
We want to get everything kind of put together before we do a full house tour. But we will do a full house tour.
Yeah.
Of the new house, because you guys have been, while we're living here, you've been watching us build this thing too. So yeah, love you guys.
Love you. Thanks for watching.
See you next time. Yee yee.
Bye.